Good morning, this is LymeOnline's Francesca Evans with your weekly news bulletin, bringing you up to date with this week's top stories from the Lyme Regis area. Councillor Brian Larkham is set to be re-elected as Mayor of Lyme Regis for the third consecutive year. The appointment of the new Mayor-elect was set to take place this week, but the meeting was postponed in line with national mourning for the Duke of Edinburgh. The Mayor usually serves for a 2-year term, but is able to continue for a third year if no other nominations are put forward, and in this case Councillor Larkham was the only nomination. He has had a particularly difficult term of office, having to deal with the coronavirus pandemic, which placed severe pressure on the council's finances, and missing out last year on holding civic occasions such as the traditional mayor-making ceremony and annual civic night. There were 2 nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor, Councillor John Broom and Councillor Kelsey Ellis. However, Councillor Broom has since withdrawn his name, leaving Councillor Ellis to become the youngest ever Deputy Mayor at the age of 20. Both nominations will be confirmed at the postponed meeting on Thursday, April 22nd. While it is down to the Council to elect the Mayor, residents of Lyme Regis will be going to the polls on May 6th to select a new Town Councillor. 4 candidates have put themselves forward for the vacancy on the Council. They are Caroline Aldridge for the Liberal Democrats, Vicky Elcote for the Green Party, independent candidate Christopher Service, and Tara Webb, who lists no political affiliation. Residents will also have the chance to raise any local issues they may have at a virtual version of the annual town meeting on Thursday, April 29th. As well as questions from the public, the Town Council will present its annual accounts and corporate plan, and there will be reports from Dorset Council and Dorset Police. Many pubs and restaurants in Lyme Regis welcome customers this week for the first time this year as lockdown restrictions were further eased. Hospitality businesses can now serve tables of up to 6 outside, with several in Lyme Regis having expanded or improved their outside areas to make the most of the spring trade. The town has been busy with children still off school for the Easter holidays and self-contained holiday accommodation also now open. However, there have been some complaints that the annual harbour dredging and beach reprofiling works have coincided with the holiday. A section of the beach has been cordoned off this week to allow for the harbour to be dredged, with black water currently being pumped across the sand. Mounds of sand have also been piled directly next to outdoor dining areas of some seafront restaurants. Dorset Council has said that the work is likely to take 10 days, subject to weather, and residents and visitors should keep away from the discharge pipe that is depositing sand on the beach. The council said this work is essential for maintaining the day-to-day running of the harbour and ensures the beaches are fully replenished for residents and visitors to enjoy in the warmer months. Local leaders have paid tribute to Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, following his death on Friday, April 9th. The Mayor of Lyme Regis, Councillor Brian Larkham, released a short statement offering deepest condolences to the Queen on behalf of the Town Council, with Uplyme and Charmouth Parish Councils also sending similar messages. West Dorset MP Chris Loader paid tribute to the Duke during a 9-hour session in the House of Commons this week. Here's a clip from his speech.
Prince Philip was one of the few constants in our transitory lives. The past few days has given many of us the time to consider not only the life and service of Prince Philip, but also our own life and our own service to our communities. The Duke of Edinburgh was a man of home truths. He wasn't afraid to say what he thought, and he didn't mind being controversial. In many ways, the expression of those home truths reflected the thoughts of the public, and we are worse off as a nation without that kind of honesty and common sense from him. Prince Philip was one of my grandparents' generation. Their sense of duty and service, particularly during times of difficulty, has allowed us to lead lives of freedom and democracy that we enjoy today. Theirs is a generation of selflessness, not entitlement. Theirs is a generation of tenacity, of character and of wisdom. The people in West Dorset have very fond memories of when Her Majesty and His Royal Highness visited us on several occasions. They have visited my hometown of Sherborne twice, once in 1998 when Her Majesty unveiled the Great West Window at Sherborne Abbey, and again as part of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Tour in 2012. but also to Dorchester, our county town, in 2016 to open Queen Mother's Square in Poundbury. Those memories have endured with us for many years and will continue to do so.
Flags in Lyme Regis were lowered to half-mast, including on the Cobb and outside the Guildhall, where town crier Alan Vian gave a special cry in honour of Prince Philip on Saturday. A silence was also held before a match at Lyme Regis Football Club, and council meetings this week were postponed in line with national mourning. A civic party, including the Mayor and representatives of the Royal British Legion, will gather at the Guildhall again tomorrow for a proclamation and silence to mark the Duke's funeral. Current COVID case numbers in Lyme Regis and the surrounding areas are at one of their lowest points since the pandemic first broke out last year. In latest figures for the 7-day period up until April 9th, there were fewer than 3 confirmed cases in the Lyme Regis, Charmouth and Marshwood Vale area, as well as all surrounding areas. This includes Uplyme, Kilmington and Colleton, Axminster, Seaton, Burton Bradstock and Chiddock, Bridport North and Bridport South and West Bay. In small areas where there are fewer than 3 cases, full data is not given as to protect the identity of individuals. You can find out more details on COVID case numbers in your local area on the website shown on screen now. And now sport. Late goals did for both Lyme Regis teams in their fixtures last weekend. The Seasiders' first team were drawn away to Poole Borough in the Dorset Senior Trophy, but failed to win a place in the semi-final, losing 3-2 in extra time after dominating for most of the game. Ricky Sargent and Tom Baston got their goals in normal time, but Lyme missed a hatful of chances which would have seen them progress in the competition. Lyme reserves were at home to Clyst Valley in the Devon and Exeter League Division 1 East and dominated for most of the game. With 5 minutes to go, they were leading 2-0 with goals from teenager Josh Baines and Steve Beattie. But they tired towards the end of the game and conceded 2 goals in the closing stages, much to the frustration of managers Matt Priest and Dec Ellis. Before the game, the players stood in silent tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh. There are no league fixtures this weekend due to kick-off time difficulties due to the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral. An inter-club friendly will, however, be staged at the Davy Fort. Spectators will not be allowed in the ground during the match due to COVID-19 rules, but the clubhouse will be open for outdoor hospitality from 2:30 p.m, with drinks being served outside by waitress service to tables of up to 6. Uplyme were also in action for the first time since lockdown was eased, with an excellent 3-1 victory over a strong Piemore side. The Swallows' goals came from Alex Jones, Harry Robson and Daly Holmes. And finally, youth sailing has returned to Lyme Regis, with the first Tuesday evening training session of the year held this week. 13 strip sails were seen in the bay as enthusiastic youth members of Lyme Regis Sailing Club refreshed their basic skills. Each intermediate was buddied with a more experienced youth sailor, and confidence quickly returned. Jim Thomas led the session with assistance from Simon Law, plus a team of volunteers on shore. Thanks for watching LymeOnline's video news bulletins. Don't forget you can stay up to date with all the latest local news throughout the week on the LymeOnline website, and you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Have a great weekend.